Gatelet in Wonder Labyrinth, huh? Okay. Ooh, okay. It'll be a fun, you know, a break from Super Metroid Rando, I guess. And Chronicles of the Wolf. Yep. Which screen was... Probably should be showing off the text, because like I do say different things, but alright, well, we gave the old lady potion, so I think I can crack into some potion myself here. Ooh. I am having a an Arnold Palmer. Yeah. Sweet. Yeah, it's tasty. It's quite sweet, but I've got a sweet tooth, so it fits. Ooh. Give me them XP. Let's see, this is an even-numbered palace, so yeah. Sad. Thank you. I do try. Figure, you know, it makes me a more bearable person to be around. Oh shit, the Stalfos have learned to down thrust. It is not trying to get too personal, but it is impressive how much things have changed with me, you know, personality-wise in the last couple years. Yeah, yep. Well, you know, it's a 2D side-scrolling game. You gotta have the sine wave monsters. I'm glad to hear that, Said. It does mean a lot to me, so. Like I was I was legit like having a moment the other day where it's like, oh my god, like I have all these friends now, and well, I guess that makes sense. Like I've been hanging out in communities about things I like and talking to people about shared interests, and that is how you make friends. Just yeah. Yeah, so it's oh, you've never played A Link to the Past, huh? Okay. Well, I'll make sure to queue that up next then. Yeah, it's like honestly, like probably not surprisingly, the thing that really got me like into A Link to the Past, because it's like, yeah, sure, you know, we didn't have it. It was always our cousin's game, but you know, we'd get a chance to play whenever we were at, you know, my brother and I were at his house. But like the thing that really got me into like playing through and getting good at it was the combo Super Metroid Link to the Past randomizer. Which if you haven't played that, it is interesting. Another dead end. Yeah, Minish Cap. A lot of people sleep on Minish Cap. It is like it's really funny because when I first played it as a kid, like my gut reaction was like, oh wow, this is really giving me like Oracle game vibes. Yeah, Kinstones suck. I like the concept with the Kinstones. Like, the core idea is something that could work well. And we got the handy glove. But yeah, like my first thought when I was playing through it was like, wow, this is really like giving me the Oracle vibes. And then I, you know, started the game again and noticed the Capcom on the copyright screen and was like, oh, okay, that's why. Yeah, the Oracles, I have been waiting an Oracle remake ever since they did the Link's Awakening one. Because, like, those games definitely, if not for Xenogears, would be topping my, you know, this game needs a remake list. Yeah, it would. And it's like you already have the engine, you already have like 99% of the assets you need. Yeah. Ooh. Also, yeah, I just love that Star Fox 2 had been sitting around completed. I'm not gonna go for it. Had been sitting around completed for, what, like 20-something years? Because, you know, they had it done for the Super Nintendo, and oh, but we don't want to release it with a Nintendo 64 just around the corner, and then that got delayed, and just like a... Nope. Oh boy. Yeah, I know, I have Fairy, I could just clip through the lock, but... Something pretending I'm doing this legit. Alright, well, at least once I get back there, it shouldn't be too bad. Ooh. Key grab. Oh yeah. Yeah, it's always kind of funny because like I'm never sure whether Palace 2 is intended to be done before or after Death Mountain. Because like the glove doesn't do anything in Death Mountain, and the hammer doesn't do anything around here. I guess, yeah, it kind of makes sense. Like, you know, you do Palace 1 and then you have that one cave. You do Palace 2, then you have Death Mountain. Yeah. Alright, it's what? South of King's Tomb. Yeah. But yeah, you know, like it's, you know, as you might be able to tell from being a Metroidvania fan, I do like having some non-linearity in my games. And not just the sort where it's like, well, technically you can leave Dodongo's cavern after getting the bombs and then go. Yeah, and then if you do Death Mountain first, then you do Palaces 2 and 3 back to back. And like this is about as far as I would ever make it as a kid. Like seeing the inside of Palace 3 was rare. Yeah, the collector's edition disc. A friend of mine had that one, which I don't have up thrust yet. Okay, I don't have 32 units of magic. Yeah, I think more often than not we just used it to God, I know we had it. I know we had played through Ocarina on it once. Because I was Aww. Yes, so normally when I'm doing a Zelda game off stream, I'll name the file yes, Ced's Adventures Now. The Adventure of Cedric. Yeah, I'd name Link Little Dude, or you know, as close as I can get with however many characters I have. And that stems from when Blue and I... Yeah, it is. That is a good mini. But when Blue and I started dating, that was like this thing we would do is before going to bed, you know, I'd kind of tell the story of Ocarina as though it were like a bedtime story, like a fairy tale. And so, you know, started off with like, hey, you know, one day there was this little dude who lived in a forest with, you know, little forest people, and that just kind of stuck. So, yeah, it's okay. Yeah, it's just, you know, a little affectionate thing that we do. And of course, you know, because it was me, you know, telling it got all sorts of wacky. How do I consistently manage? Aha. Momentum. Yeah, it, I mean, I guess technically... Okay, I think last time I did a full playthrough of this, it was, when I was doing the whole series before Breath of the Wild. Ooh. Yeah, ages, I preferred ages to seasons. I don't really know why, it just kind of jumped out at me more. Oh god, that's right, that's the one where the tree has the crush on you! How many keys do I have? 2? Okay. God, I love the sentences that video games make us say, you know? Let's back up so I don't knock you into the lava. Ooh, okay, hi. This would be, what, a magic level? 300 until a life refill, so that isn't so bad. So yeah, level 3 is full of armored knights, and you get the raft. It's clever because it's a reference, you see. Yep, wood is wood. Alright. I feel like my levels are absurd for the point of the game I'm at, but... Alright, just double check. Nothing back here, right? Yeah. And that's a dead end. Okay, of course, when it's the boss, I do it friggin' no hit. Really got hit by the fucking loader. Oh, that's right. We did talk to the guy who told us to talk to Error, so unfortunately we don't get that particular line of dialogue anymore, but... Which, like, it always amused me as a kid. Or I guess, like, as a kid, it just kind of seemed straightforward to me. Like, okay, yeah, you talk to this guy, he says, I am Error, he's a dude whose name is Error. That makes perfect sense. show me the magic. Okay, yeah, that's what he tells you. Okay. But like, yeah, it wasn't until much later when I, got on the internet and people were laughing about it and talking about it as like, oh, it's a bad translation. I'm like, it's a weird name, sure, but like, it always made sense to me. Like, yeah, he is saying that his name is Error. Alright, we got everything we need here, so... Yeah, and it turns out the mess up was with Bagu.